You know, you think about the history of the very spot we're in right now. And Jody, you know the history of this site. And this is a for all of us here, many of us have family or friends or our neighbors or some here who once worked at the old shipyards that were once on this site. And that shipyard, of course, helped us win the war against Nazi Germany, Imperial Japan, construction of the LSTs, and kept America independent. And today we're celebrating a new tool which will be used to win the war of energy independence. And that's why this site is so very, very important. Once we built the LSTs, today, thanks to Nova Biosource Fuels, we'll of course be making biofuels to biodiesel in order to be energy independent from foreign oil. I want to congratulate Nova Biosource Fuels. One of the reasons is that, you know, in Texas they always talk about having the biggest hats, the biggest horses, the biggest cattle, the biggest football stadium. I think you have that. Well, what's great here in Seneca, Illinois is we're going to have the biggest biodiesel plant in North America, in the world, thanks to Nova Biosource Fuels. So we're going to take one away from the Texans today with this plant. We thank Nova for your leadership on that. You know, the Klusny family, and particularly David, I've known over the years, and people always think of biodiesel, they always think of soybeans. And David, through his role and his profession, was one of those who helped educate policymakers that you can make biodiesel out of animal fats and restaurant waste. And of course, he's been a real leader and of course one of the partners in this project. Jay Philman and others who were partners in this project as well put together the local team, then went on to partner with Nova. Congratulations, it's a very, very big day. You know, when we celebrate events like today, the question is always asked, who wins? Well, as I look around the group assembled today, you see representation of all who win from today's groundbreaking. Obviously, if you're a farmer or you're in the restaurant business, you win because there's a market for your soybeans, there's a market for your animal fats, there's a market for your restaurant waste. And we've seen, of course, higher soybean prices and corn prices because of increased production of biofuels. So farmers win. Union building tradesmen here in the LaSalle County, Grundy County, Illinois Valley area win because Nova took the leadership to select local contractors, local union contractors to build this plant. For that we say thank you, and for that we commend you. Local firms from Manuka, Streeter, and LaSalle are all working together to build this facility, which, as I mentioned earlier, not only is going to be the largest in North America, but the construction underway today is a $68 million investment. And of course, other winners will be the workers who get the permanent jobs, 30 permanent jobs, once this facility is up and running. The goal is by September of this year, as I understand it, Jody. By September of this year, this plant will be in operation, employing 30 local residents, so 30 families will be able to move up the economic ladder. You know, it's often said that policy makes a difference. And a few years ago, there was a decision made in the Congress and working with the President that it was time to replace imported oil with homegrown biofuels. That policies of previous presidents, policies of previous Congresses had put us in a position where 60% of the oil we consume comes from outside of America. We import it. In many cases from countries that aren't necessarily our friends, who then use the revenues that they make selling us the oil to work against American interests. We made a decision in the Energy Policy Act of 2005 that we wanted to double the amount of biofuels used in America by 2011, just 3 years from now. As a result of that policy, we're seeing almost 50-some ethanol plants planned for the state of Illinois, in planning stages, moving towards construction. Nationwide, we're seeing 77 biodiesel plants moving forward in the planning stages. towards construction. What's even better is today we're breaking ground and witnessing the construction of a plant that's going to be right here, produce biodiesel to help us achieve energy independence.